Cell interlinked within cells.
Interlinked.
Within one stem and dreadfully distinct.
Cells.
Against the dark, a tall white fountain play.
Interlinked.
The cell within the cell is the...
Cells.
Blade Runner 2049. Awesome. Hey, I'm Chelsea.
And I'm Ashley.
And we just saw Blade Runner 2049.
And spoilers ahead, obviously, but we must say it was pretty dope.
We really enjoyed this movie. We're gonna shake it up and start with our dislikes first, just because we honestly didn't have that much we disliked.
But first, let's give it a rating. I would say we gave it a solid 8 out of 10 replicant babies.
I agree with that rating. I would replicate it.
So, my major complaint about the movie, if you don't already know, it's 2 hours and 43 minutes long, and it feels like that.
Like, especially with the previews, we were in that movie theater for 3 hours, and great film, but for people who are pretty active, like, I felt it. Like, I felt sitting around for 3 hours.
Yeah, our feet were like fidgeting on the chairs.
You could
It got
see
to the
it.
point, yeah, it got pretty rough. But I think there were sections of it that were a little bit too drawn out. Okay, so in the movie, Ryan Gosling, who plays Kay, has a memory of a little horse toy he had when he was a kid. It's supposedly an implanted memory. And you go through the sequence of him finding out that it's a real memory, not necessarily his, but it is a real memory. And I did find that whole section a little bit drawn out because you did figure it out, I think about 10 minutes before the reveal actually happened.
I felt the search was really drawn out because you spend, I don't know, probably 5-10 minutes recreating the dream with Ryan Gosling. And I feel like you could have maybe parsed it down a little bit. It was, again, visually stunning. But, maybe just, do little snips here and there just to maybe try and shorten it, because I really don't think today's audiences want to go into a 3-hour movie.
No. And I think that's one of the reasons it didn't do very well at the box office, was that people saw the length of it and were a little bit, scared off of that.
I also think that they overestimated the appeal of Blade Runner. People like us know it because we're movie fans. Like, Blade Runner was one of the first movies I remember watching on purpose, because it was it set the precedent for dystopian kind of new age movies, especially with the soundtrack it used. But again, these are people who are movie fans. I don't think that's necessarily the wider population who's crying out for a movie from 1982.
Especially one like this heavy-handed in the science fiction. It is, I think science fiction is a very, niche genre, and you have to really be a science fiction fan to go into it.
Ooh, and with this movie too, I felt there were the long bouts of silence where you could just kind of enjoy the cinematography and look at the science fiction universe they created. And that's great if you love movies. I loved watching these, the visuals were stunning. And it kind of brought you into this grimy world. But again, for regular movie going audiences, I don't think it's for them.
It's not, a relaxing night out for someone who has a crazy stressful job. This is a movie you have to go into and work.
You're gonna deep dive into this movie, and just feeding on top of the runtime, I do feel like the climax felt out of place in comparison to the rest of the movie. In the climax, you have Harrison Ford returning as Deckard, and Ryan Gosling battling a kind of evil robot named Love, and it takes place in these nighttime with waves crashing and a little escape pod, and it just felt a little hammy in comparison to the rest of the movie. With a lot of pop-ups and a lot of, you think Love's dead, you think Ryan Gosling's dead, they're not. It felt out of place and a little dragged out.
And I know it takes a long time to drown a replicant, but we didn't have to see the entire thing.
This, I would say, is the first time in a movie we've ever realistically seen how long it takes to drown someone.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, so it could have been a little bit shorter, but there were a lot of things that we liked about the movie, and let's get into those.
Personally, Denis Villeneuve is one of my favorite directors right now. Arrival was one of my favorite movies of 2016, and it remains probably one of my top 10 movies ever. And I really feel like Blade Runner 2049 served as his coming out party, and the confidence in which he directed this movie while still playing homage to Blade Runner, the original movie. It felt like a Ridley Scott universe, but through the eyes of Denis. It was perfect.
Yeah, it was a very good continuation of the universe, really, in that it was adapted in a very unique way, but not so unique that it was taken out of the Blade Runner universe.
Like I cannot wait to see what he does next. He is an incredible director, and Blade Runner 2049 really showed that, especially with how he chose to use lighting.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite parts, actually. There's a lot of natural lighting in the beginning on Ryan Gosling's character, and I think that really, kind of makes it feel like he could be the natural-born replicant or whatever, and that's really cool. And the use of colors, it's very subtle, but very well done, and it's not like crazy bright Tokyo universe, but...
How they use the light, too, especially when you're on the streets of LA, just because it feels grimy, it feels gritty. It feels like a lived-in universe, and the light played a big role into that. And I also like how they would play with the characters. So, like, the whole premise of the movie is Ryan Gosling is searching for a baby that is part replicant, part human, part replicant, part replicant. It's just like a chosen child. And there's a part in the movie where he comes to believe he is that chosen child. And I love how Villeneuve used light. So you have him looking at his desk just shrouded in light. He's light and bright, and the background is just dark. Like, that was a brilliant shot. With
Love and Kay walking through the hallway, they're lit by just slats of light, and it's just visually remarkable.
Yeah, I love how they portrayed where the, antagonist, he's not really an antagonist, just Wallace, he's the replicant creator, he's played by Jared Leto. The lighting they used with him in contrast to, say, Deckard and Kay is phenomenal. It's weird, it's alien, it's too bright, it's too dark. Like, one of the greatest choices he made was to shoot in silhouette for a lot of the time you're with Wallace and Love. It just adds to that kind of mystery and intrigue.
Especially that water reflection light. That I think really gave it that like kind of alien feel. Like, it is a kind of natural looking light, but it's so strange to see it in like a boardroom full of wood. It's really jarring. It's wonderful.
It was perfect. And like on top of that, it also had fantastic sound design and music.
Beautiful.
One of my favorite ways is how one of my favorite things is how it kind of built off of the music from the original movie, where it's weird, it's alien, it's sci-fi, it's jarring, it's silent. The sound design was just as important as the actual characters and cinematography. Because it brought you into that movie. It put me on edge. It made me feel alright. Like, it was just perfect.
I like that the sound design wasn't entirely musical, too. Like, there were moments when it was just, like, a really, like, loud noise that just kind of added to the tone of the movie without really, pulling you away from it at all.
Honestly, for me, personally, the strongest aspect of this movie was the actual story. Like, as the audience, you're drawn into, like, Ryan Gosling's search for the chosen child. And you start to believe him, just like he believes. He is the replicant human, replicant child that's born to a replicant mother that's paradigm changing in this universe. And you can see that way down on Ryan Gosling's character Kay as he slowly starts to think it's him, only to have it turn out he's not. Like, that was a brilliant twist.
It was really brilliant. I think it added a lot to the realism in that, every character, of course, is going to think that the story is about them, only to find out that he was just the decoy. He's just, a side character in the main story. And that, I think, it makes it feel more realistic and just great.
It adds, again, to that human debate, the whole point of Blade Runner. Everyone wants to be the star of their story. And that really added to the humanity of the replicants, having having Kay grapple with the fact that he could be this child that could cause a war. I do love who they cast as Harrison Ford's kid in the movie. She was charming and fantastic, and I would love this, she plays a doctor who creates memories for replicants. She was awesome. I was just waiting for her to come back on screen because she lit it up.
She was entirely lovable in that character. She was, sweet and charming, and just, you saw that when she was watching the memories being created, she was just so in love with her work. There actually were a lot of really fantastic, well-developed characters.
I would argue we haven't seen a lot of movies this year with that many well-developed characters. Like, even, we'll use Robin Wright Penn as an example. She plays Lieutenant Joshi, and I'm sorry if I said that wrong.
She plays Madame.
We're going to call her Madame. They're limited screen time, but she was complex, she was feminine, she was hard, she was soft, she was troubled, she was confident. And it was just incredible to see that portrayed with the limited screen time she had.
And even, all the characters were well developed. Like, Love, she was a she was like the villain replicant of the story, but she even had wonderful motivations that were very well established, that she just wanted to impress Wallace. She wanted to, you know, be the best replicant, and she even says that. She goes to like kiss Ryan Gosling after she kills him, and she's like, I'm the best, and then throws him in the water. And it was great.
Again, it feeds in that humanity aspect where you want to impress your creator, you want to impress your father. So yeah, she's a robot, but she has jealousy. She has self-doubt. It was really interesting to watch. And then we got to mention Ryan Gosling's girlfriend, Joy. Joy is going to be hard to describe for you. She is a hologram who they get technology so she can go everywhere with him. And she gets to be in one of the best scenes of the movie, where she takes over another replicant's body so they can have sex. And it was amazing. The scene was incredible with the way it was shot.
Yeah, and I can't believe the way they edited it, because they had to have shot it at least 3 times.
Right, and like, we want to be clear, this wasn't sexy. I didn't find it sexy.
No, not at all.
It was just weird and alien and awkward, where they overlaid like the actress who played Joy over another replicant, and it was incredible.
You saw like the hands moving like at the same time, and it was wonderful. It made it seem very science fiction-y and just great.
It was one of the best parts of the movie and one of the best scenes I've seen this year, just because it was so weird. And Joy is an interesting character unto herself. It's played out that she loves Ryan Gosling and they're committed to each other. And like she is unfortunately murdered by love. And her last words to Ryan are like, I love you. But then, as Ryan's going home, he sees a giant hologram of her. And she starts speaking to him just the same way that his girlfriend would have, even calling him by the same nickname, Joe. And it kind of makes you start to question if these robots, for lack of a better word, were actually in love. And if it was just part of the programming.
Because she is sold as a character, everything you want to see, everything you want to hear. That's what you see on all the billboards with her advertised in it. And so it is, you know, of course it's everything he wants to see in here, and maybe it was all just that.
I love that question it left me with.
I think this movie left you with a lot of questions.
Yeah, that was the best part. I love the debates we were having coming out of this movie.
We did have a lot of conversations. There's a lot of elements to this movie that are somewhat ambiguous, and just it starts great conversations.
So we'll give you the biggest spoiler. We're still not clear if Deckard is a replicant or not. I'm Team Human.
I'm Team Replicant.
I feel like it could go either way, and I love that.
I want some robot uploaded babies. That'd be sweet.
Right? And even debating Kay's role. Yeah, we had one friend who was like, no, like, it's not fair that he wasn't the chosen one. Like, why lead the audience on like that? Like, your main character is supposed to be the main piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, but we both really loved that story. Yeah.
And so, let's be honest, I don't need any more needles.
That's true. I want to see a main character disappointed with life like I am.
I love it. He was a red herring. You know what? We're all our own red herring.
But yeah, the movie was fantastic. It left you with the perfect amount of questions, and not ones that were at all disappointing. Ones that just invigorated you and interested you more in the universe.
If you are a film buff and love movies, love the aspects of like sound, music, cinematography, highly recommend this movie. If you're looking for something a bit more casual, this probably isn't the movie for you. But it's not about what we think.
It's about what you think.
So let us know in the comments below.
And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Thanks, guys.